So updates, artificial intelligence every Friday. Today is September 12th, and as you see, there is a lot of updates. And the epigraph for today is from OpenAI: avoid hallucinations by abstaining when unsure. And this is actually the main probably event this week, and I want to talk about it. So what OpenAI in their paper which they just published, what they claim is that the model doesn't have to hallucinate. The reason why it is hallucinating is because of how it is trained. So the model is encouraged to give answer even if it doesn't know what the right answer. So it is encouraged to bluff because all the benchmarks, they are binary, they are 1 or 0. And so if you know the answer, it's 1. If you don't know the answer, the model is trained to say something, even if it's not correct, because, well, maybe there is a chance it will be correct. So that's how it is trained. Both pre-training and post-training, reinforcement learning, all of them doing the same thing. They teach model to bluff. And the solution to this is simply allow model to say, I don't know. And maybe to be sure in its answer only if it's really sure. So proposed fixes: redesign benchmarks, penalize confident errors more heavily than abstentions, partial credit for uncertainty, reward model for withholding answers when unsure, confidence thresholds, require answers only above a stated confidence level, enabling auditing and calibration, and broad adoption. Apply these metrics across all evaluations, not just niche uncertainty-aware tests. So what they're saying that all current tests, all the benchmarks, they all binary, they all not correct, and they all like trying to like be good on benchmarks. That's what causes models to behave in this way. So the solution is stop bluffing. And they actually did this, and their latest model have much less hallucinations than before. Okay, next, the arena. So what we have here, we have, as usual, Gemini and Claude, and we have a lot of yellow, which is OpenAI. And now, surprisingly, OpenAI also is behaving good on coding. You see the GPT-5 high chat. So yeah, in text you see a lot of Chinese models, different versions, but the same players. They're just moving a little bit, changing places. Okay, next. Geoffrey Hinton warns about LLMs manipulations. So what he's saying that machines are better, much better at emotional manipulation than humans are at saying no. So he just warns because this is a fact. Another interesting fact, you remember Mira Murati? She used to be CTO of OpenAI. Then she left and she started her own company, Thinking Machines Lab. She hired some of the top people from other companies, including some people came from OpenAI, and they were kind of secretive. They received $2 billion at 12 billion valuation without having any products, and they started a blog, and there was a first posting on this blog, the first paper they published. I will not talk about it, but it's just the fact that they went out of hiding. Okay, K2 Think 32B. This is coming from Arabic world. Well, they used model which is from China, Qwen 2.532B, which is not the latest model, that they use this as a base to train on top of it. And the main achievement is 20 times better cost performance for inference. And they are running this model on the Cerebras wafers. These are big chips, like 8.5 inches squares, huge chips. So this model is specifically optimized to run on these chips, and they're delivering 2,000 tokens per second performance, and at the same time, very good at different benchmarks and so on. It is hosted and on Hugging Face. It is for research, so it's not completely open. It is reasoning model. Okay, next is model coming from China, and this is Baidu. You know, Baidu, it's like American Google. It's a huge company, and they have model ERNIE 4.5. We spoke about this model before, but this is a variation on this model. The previous one was 300 billion parameters. This is only 21 billion parameters, and at a time they activate only 3 billion. So 21 billion parameters, mixture of expert architecture. You know, all models today, like, I don't know, 100% probably, or close to that, are a mixture of experts architecture. So here, 3 billion active. It is multimodal. They have a thinking version, which they just released, 128,000 context length, tool and function calling, outperforms Qwen 30, so the latest one. And what's interesting, it can be quantized for 4-bit and even for 2-bit. So Apache open source, great. So this is a link for Hugging Face. Next, Claude and Microsoft. As you know, Microsoft had tensions with OpenAI, and OpenAI models were like the main working horse for Microsoft. So Microsoft now negotiated with Claude that they will use Claude in their Microsoft Copilot, in Microsoft Office. And Claude now can work with Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and PDFs, so it can create files, edit files, convert between them. It is right now it is only available for people who pay a lot of money, which is a Max or Team and Enterprise. But well, hopefully soon it will be available to everybody through Microsoft Copilot. And this is how you just go in settings. Well, if you're paying this amount of money, upgraded file creation analysis in settings. And the way it works, Claude runs inside a private Ubuntu container with just a little bit of memory and disk and Python and Node.js. So it's basically a custom app which can work with those files. So Microsoft shifts Office 365 to Anthropic Claude. It doesn't mean exclusive shift, it's just that Claude will become an option. Next, this is a plug to my channel as usual. So we do these presentations every Friday. My name is Lev Selector. This is the name of the channel. And if you're watching this, please pause the video and answer the pinned question in comments. Every time I change the question, and I really appreciate your feedback. And well, of course, subscribe and so on. Okay, Peter Diamandis, I subscribe to his newsletter. He's a genius. And here I just want to give you some quotes from his newsletters this week. So Google Nano Banana can generate images for about 4 cents per API call with character consistency that fools the human eye. Veo 3 is generating hyper-realistic 8-second video clips that pass the smell test for 99.9% of viewers. 90% of everything we see will be AI generated by the end of next year. We are moving from someone with technical skills can create a fake video to anyone with $20 can generate thousands of fake videos in an afternoon with a very high quality. Companies buying existing AI solutions succeed 67% of the time, and those who are trying to build their internal systems only have 33% success rate. Well, it's understandable why, because usually these companies don't have years of expertise and AI experts on their staff to actually do the custom build. So they are safer if they buy from the shelf. Smart startups attack backend automation, cutting operation costs by 30% and eliminating entire categories of manual work. So yeah, that's another truth, that companies who work on internal pipelines, processes, they are successful, whereas, for example, investment in marketing was not as effective. Next, ByteDance, which is a big Chinese company, Seedream 4.0 image model. So this is the latest version of their model. It's multimodal, 4K, so high quality image generation. You can also edit using prompts rivaling Nana Banana from Google in prompt accuracy, alignment, and aesthetics. Databricks just got $1 billion and they're already at 100 billion valuation, 4 billion annualized revenue, recurrent revenue. Yeah, this is amazing. Databricks, remember, started from developing Spark at Berkeley, which then became Apache Spark project, open source. And the original developers who were creating this in Scala, they created the company, Databricks, to do consulting and future development. And now they grew for probably more than 2,000 people. It's a big company, very successful. And they have, they run on clusters of computers, and they can do machine learning, and they can do AI running on clusters. The Rundown AI, life-changing prompts. Rundown AI is a newsletter I'm subscribed to. It's a very good newsletter, and I like they made a survey on Twitter, people about the prompts. What are the best prompts? And people gave them some great prompts. So here are the links. For example, this person created a board of advisors prompt asking certain personas, like for example Elon Musk, how they would solve particular problem. And another person fed entire company histories, financials, and competitor research into one mega prompt, and then asked for concrete 1, 3, and 6 month action plans. Another person asked the model to write its own optimal prompt first, and then use the refined version to complete the actual task. Yes, this I was talking about before. This is a very, very good way. So you don't ask LLM to do the job, you first ask it to create a prompt, which we should use to ask her to do the job. Okay, here a prompt pushes deeper into goals by having AI pose questions to break through circular thinking patterns. Okay, next. Google Veo 3 and Veo 3 Fast. Well, we spoke about Google Veo 3. But now they have new pricing, new configuration, better resolution, so it's incremental update. Mistral received a lot of money, and it's now like the largest company in Europe, so 14 billion valuation. Anthropic is trying to settle. They offered 1.5 billion, and this settlement was not accepted. So this is because Anthropic used books from the internet, from sites like LibGen. So they offered to pay $3,000 per book, well, per work, but the judge has not accepted it yet. Next, Oracle. So this last week, Oracle stock surged by 40%, like very high. Because Oracle made a deal with OpenAI for like $300 billion. And Larry Ellison at some point became the richest person in the world, even like, well, the first is actually Elon Musk. So now they swap the places again, and Elon Musk now at the top. It's something like $350 billion. I don't remember the exact number. But interesting, so this growth is not because of Oracle database, this is because of data centers for AI. So Oracle projects cloud infrastructure revenue will grow from 18 billion to 144 billion within 5 years. Okay, Cognition. So you remember this startup created Devin, which is coding assistant, which is very smart assistant. They were selling it at $500 per month. Whereas usually assistants are sold for like $20 a month. So this is a high quality, and yeah, they received more money, and their valuation already grew to more than $10 billion. Okay, next, MCP Registry. So this is a community project, an open catalog and API for publicly available MCP servers to improve discoverability and implementation. Well, it's not the only project of this type, so it's on GitHub, so there is a blog. The training imperative. This is interesting thought. Eventually, all serious AI firms will train their own models. It is getting easier and cheaper to train. Model ownership will soon be crucial for industry relevance. Yes, and it is true. That it's getting much cheaper to train the models and much easier. The tools have become simpler to use. AI gross margins in 2025. So chip makers do killing, like 70% margins. Cloud services also very high. Software, well, some software companies are in negative, some are in positive, some are up to 60%. Next, multi-word prediction. This is a new trend. Um, the LLMs, usually they say how they work, they predict next token, just one token. But now people go to predicting multiple tokens at the same time, multiple words at the same time. And they achieve 5 times speed without losing accuracy. So it's a great development. Moonshot AI, so this is China, Kimi-K2-Instruct, 1 trillion parameters. It's mixture of expert, of course, so it's a 32 billion active parameters. So this is a new model, and this is specifically for creating, working with agents. Next, ChatGPT now supports full integration with MCP servers. You know, every model supports MCP servers, but for some reason, OpenAI was not doing this, but now they have it. So they have it in the browser, in the API, everywhere. You enable developer mode, and you can use MCP in your work. Next, Replit. Replit raises 250 million at 3 billion valuation. Replit is a coding thing in the browser. It's an AI coding startup. It's tripled its valuation, and they recently created something called Agent 3, which is something. It's a very autonomous agent, and they demonstrated it was working by itself non-stop autonomously 200 minutes, which is more than 3 hours. So it's working in a loop. It builds something, it runs it, it validates that it's running correctly. If something not, then it repairs, and it goes in the loop until it fixes it. So they have 40 million users and 150 million annualized revenues. Okay, ByteDance Mini O3. This is interesting. So they kind of recreated OpenAI Mini O3 model, but they made it open. So it's an open multimodal reasoning model. It's coming from University of Hong Kong. It's based on Qwen, Alibaba Qwen. It's a small model, only 7 billion parameters, and it's very good. Next, Claude AI outperforms human virologists. So tests show that AI is significantly better at finding bioweapon information than using the internet alone. Anthropic added safety measures to prevent Claude from aiding bioweapons development. Nvidia Rubin CPX GPU. So this is a new GPU. Rubin, she was an astronomer. We spoke about it like in the future, but now it's coming, and this will be the main chip for NVIDIA. It can handle 1 million token context. Very powerful new chip. So it's part of a larger system for efficient processing. Will launch in late 2026, but they already demonstrated it. Okay, next, CodeBuff, AI agentic coding system. It is fully open source. Well, you see that it is JavaScript based. Fully open source uses a team of specialized agents to deliver context-aware, multi-step code generation, refactoring, workflow automation across software projects, multi-agent collaboration. So it's the key. You'll see over and over, multi-agent, multi-agent, multi-agent. Remember, like half a year ago, it was just code assistant. You start typing, it offers you how to finish the small function. Now it is long, autonomous, and multi-agent. and specialized agents, for example, file explorer, planner, implementation, review agents, project-wide awareness, works with many major LLMs, outperforms Claude code on benchmarks, and so on. Support Git, great project. Next, Intern VL 3.5 open source multimodal LLM. So it is LLM and video, right? SOTA reasoning, vision language, model size from 1 billion parameter to 41 billion parameters. So Hugging Face, Paper, GitHub, Cascade reinforcement learning, offline reinforcement learning for stable model convergence, visual resolution route, decoupled vision language deployment. So a lot of new terms for me. Follows VIT MLP LLM design, 16 times improvement in reasoning ability, 4 times inference speed. So I really like these numbers. Like last week, it was 53 times speed up for Nvidia Nematron. This week, 4, and we also will have 10 later in this lecture. So models, there's a big leaps, big changes, big improvements in the model. The largest variant, which is 241 billion parameters, closely rivals flagship commercial like GPT-5 in multimodal, agentic, and so on. Enhanced agentic abilities, real-world tasks such as GUI control, embodied agencies, and so on. So this is great. This is a very powerful model, and it is open. Again, open. Next, Alibaba. So many things happening in China. Qwen 3 Max preview with more than trillion parameters outperforms DeepSeek, available on their chat, Qwen chat. Qwen image, multimodal and visual reasoning. Updated video generating AI model. I don't have, well, they didn't release more information, but it, for example, creates film quality avatars with speech, singing, and performance. And this model, the Qwen 3 Next. So this is a new architecture. This is amazing. I'll talk about it next week, but this is huge. So this model, for example, is 80 billion parameters and 3 billion. A3B means active 3 billion. So at any given time, only 3 billion are activated. It's a mixture of experts, but it's not like a regular mixture of experts. It's something called sparse mixture of experts. And so yeah, this is activate, enabling 10 times faster throughput for long context tasks. Just think about it, 10 times faster. It has total 512 total experts. Remember when this MOE games started, it was like 8 experts and like 10 maybe and so on. And now we're talking about 512 experts, and they are not the same experts. They are routed experts, shared experts, and so on. The active param ratio, which is ratio of active and all total, is only 3.75%. So the more the sparse, the faster it's running, right? And benefits: best-in-class efficiency, rapid inference, like 10 times, superior long context handling. It can go to 62,000 tokens, but expandable to million. Advanced reasoning, a 10 times reduction in training cost. Again, 10 times reduction in training cost, and dramatic reduction in deployment cost too. Also, they developed a new AI chip for inference, right? Division reported 26% revenue jump driven by accelerated AI integration, announced 53 billion investment over 3 years, model scope open source platform, support 54,000 models. So as you see in China, these are huge developments, big teams, huge investments. Okay, next. Meta REFRAG, Very interesting work, very important, rethinking RAG-based decoding. So what's happening? We spoke about RAG. When we, let's say we do search in vector database, we do similarity search, we pull 200, 300, 400 vectors, and then the next steps usually we re-rank them, right? So we need to find which are the best ones. We select just few of them, and then we ask LLM to answer question based on those few. But how we rank them? We take the text of these vectors, of these 300 vectors, and then we need to estimate is it related or not. There are 300 of them, so there are a lot of calls to LLMs, so it's expensive and it is slow. What's happening here, they don't re-rank based on text, they re-ranked based on vectors. It's a very interesting idea. So you have coded vectors, and then you estimate the relevancy in the vector space, and only the needed pieces then you convert to text, and then you provide final answer. And apparently this approach gives you 30 times speed up in time to first talking and 16 times context window expansion. So this is great methodology. It's coming from Meta, which is Facebook. So they published the article. So this is the paper. This is GitHub. Next, there is a book which is published by senior AI engineer at Google. It's 400 pages and it's all about agentic AI patterns, right? So it covers like everything there is to cover for today. It will be officially released on Amazon, I think, in December. You can pre-order, but right now it's also available on Google Drive, so you can go there and read it online. Next, Claude Code, YouTube Research Agent. I love Peter Young. I recommend you to subscribe to him in all different ways you can subscribe to him. And he published several examples how to use AI to improve your personal productivity. So here there is a project called Everything Agent, and he describes step by step how it was coded. Well, in this case, he does something with YouTube, so it's a YouTube research agent. What's interesting that the whole process is 6 steps, and 4 of them are planning. One is execution, and the other one is adding the batch processing. But if you look at planning to execution, it's 4 to 1. So this is very important. So first, you brainstorm to decide how to do it, which approach to use, which libraries to use. Then you write detailed specs, and then you convert specs to detailed to-do list, task list, and then you start implementing them one by one. Okay, very good example. And if you go to his YouTube channel, you'll find more examples. Very good person to learn from. Okay, next, customer service AI agent. Oh, I haven't finished this. I wanted to make a review of, you know, customer service people are fired, substituted by AI. But from the other side, if you're a company and you want to use AI for customer service, how do you approach it? Which systems maybe you can buy or use some frameworks? Anyway, you know, I'll cover it next week. Next, Streamlit-Based RAG Debugging. Okay, I'll cover it next week. Sorry, I haven't finished it. Okay, next, HyperGraphRAG. Very interesting approach because when you're doing RAG, you can select, as usual, several pieces, but what if the answer is actually spread between multiple different places and they're interconnected somehow? So that's where HyperRAG helps you, because it thinks in terms of a tree, So this is YouTube video which explains how it works. This is the paper. So it builds a vector store that models relationships between multiple entities.
Yeah, perfect.
Not just single, not pairs, but multiple. And especially valuable for complex domains like healthcare, finance, and law, where answers depend on interplay of multiple factors. Can you please mute yourself, whoever joined? Okay, Gen Assessment Framework, GAF, General Assessment Framework. This is a very good framework to use when you're thinking about how you would implement a project. So what we have on horizontally, search, act, or solve. This is what your system will do. So for example, a simple search, like a RAG, for example, a search for the answer. Act means that it will implement some technical task, for example, write a piece of code, or solve means it will brainstorm with you, dialogue back and forth, trying to find a solution, right? So the three type of systems you can build, and then when you build them, you can take solution off the shelf. You can use some framework like LangChain or whatever, and you customize it to your case, or you build everything like more or less from scratch, which requires a lot of expertise and resources. And so this is this matrix, and for each case, you need to decide like how you approach it. So this is GAF. So this is the link, explanation of the access. The recent MIT, the GenAI divide, and McKinsey reports illustrate clear enterprise failure modes. So, for example, learning gap. AI tools are static. So, for example, you're using search and do not improve with user feedback. Oh, no. This is misaligned assistant, getting a search tool instead of solve tool. Multiple isolated POCs, but they don't connect and don't help each other. Trying to build custom solutions without having AI expertise, this is mean trying to work in this cell. Next, stop writing tests. This is a very good article which I recommend to read, but the idea is that when you have a big system, every time you change something, many tests are failing and it's become a nightmare. So the person recommends to define contracts between pieces of the system and test that these contracts are followed. Because if the contracts are followed, then the whole system will work. It makes testing much simpler. It makes the whole system much more reliable. It's a valid, very good approach. Next, Tauri plus Rust plus Svelte for native apps. So powerful modern alternative to Electron for building native desktop apps. You know, when you're working with Visual Studio Code, it's a desktop app, but actually it's a JavaScript app, and it uses Electron framework to create a desktop application. So Tauri is alternative, and the benefit here, because of its using Rust, it creates much smaller files. So compare 300 megabytes with Electron and only 10 megabytes with this approach. The front end which you use, well, in this case, he used Svelte. Svelte is just one of JavaScript front-end libraries. You can use others, it doesn't matter. The key is this, Tauri plus Rust. Secure, cross-platform, backend, Rust, and any modern JavaScript on the front. Next, Synchron AI Consulting, 1 billion revenue. So this is an example of a company which is in New York, but actually now across 21 countries. And they were doing IT, software development, consulting, many different things, cloud, DevOps, cybersecurity, and so on. But they stepped really strongly into AI, and AI now is in hundreds of millions in their revenue. And I was just curious what areas they work. And the main moneymaker for them is AI consulting and transformation for financial services. You see, AI strategy, machine learning solutions for banking, insurance, risk assessment, automation, regulatory compliance, customer service. Well, others are cybersecurity and risk, generative AI, data engineering, business automation, cognitive AI, and industry-specific accelerators. Next, this is a very interesting tweet from Andrew Ng. So this is the link to the tweet. So what he is, well, you know who he is, right? He's an expert. He built Google Brain. He led Baidu AI Group as the chief scientist. He created Coursera. He created multiple companies. They have investments and consulting. He used to be a professor at Stanford. Well, he's still a professor at Stanford University, very famous for his machine learning course. Which I remember taking. So this is, did I say that he is co-founded Coursera? Great expert. You need to follow him. And in this tweet, he says that when he talks to big companies, they are in need for AI specialists. And he personally constantly looking for people who can use AI assistants to rapidly engineer software systems, use AI building blocks like prompting, RAG, evals, agentic workflows, machine learning to build applications, and prototype and iterate rapidly using these tools. So I talk to large business every week and would love to hire hundreds of more people with the skills, and also startups. As more businesses adopt AI, I expect this talent shortage only to grow. The best developers I know aren't recent graduates. So he says that computer science knowledge is still essential, but with AI, people can become much more productive. So without understanding how computers work, you can't just vibe code your way to greatness. Fundamentals are still important. And job opportunities are numerous. So when people say, well, job market is not as good, well, if you just from college computer science, yes, for junior computer scientists, it's definitely shrinking. But if you add AI, this is a completely different story. Next, Wes Roth, AI just took all our jobs. So I like Jack Roth and Wes Roth, sorry, and I subscribe to his YouTube channel, which I recommend you to do too. He doing great videos, and here he discusses what actually is happening on the job market. And different people, of course, have different opinions, but some jobs disappear, right? They getting substituted. CEO of Anthropic and ex-Google execs predict that AI could wipe out half of entry-level jobs by 2030, and it's already happening, right? On the other side, people say, but AI will create new jobs, and actually it will be more jobs. But, well, he doubts that this will happen. Growing jobs are nearly all AI data focused, AI machine learning specialists, big data experts, fintech engineer, whereas the fastest declining include bank tellers, data entry, administrative. So demand for generative AI skills and learning platforms is surging rapidly. So this is good. The video expresses skepticism whether the tech labor boom can absorb most displaced workers, highlighting concern that new jobs require significant reskilling and may not match the number or accessibility of lost jobs. So future is not clear. Anyway, so this is statistics about the jobs. So this is September, number of layoffs. This is only US, and this is, I think, is global. So the number here and here don't match. But so far, this year is less layoff than last year. Okay, this is me as usual, and thank you.